Hey, you can get some cool and fun rewards for helping me help kids. Stick around after the video for more information. Hey guys, Pater Franson here from christiangeekcentral.com and Spirit Blade Productions. This is the Christian Geek News Radar, where I try to shine a spotlight on some cool stuff that I think may be of interest, particularly to Christian geeks. First off, if you want weekly updates about Christian geek entertainment, geek entertainment from Christian creators that may or may not be specifically aimed at a target audience of Christians, be sure to catch the Christian Geekly News segment every week on the Christian Geek Central podcast. And for even more updates, be sure to follow us on Twitter at Christian_geek. All right, so let's get into it for just the major highlights that I kind of selected for this segment this month. We're mostly going to focus on really books here, with just a little bit of comic book stuff too, starting with a book called Swift, which is book one in the Flight and Flame trilogy by R.J. Anderson. This is being released by Enclave Publishing. More info at enclavepublishing.com. The description for Swift reads, "To save her people, a wingless girl must learn to fly. As a pisky girl born without wings and raised underground, Ivy yearns for flight almost as much as she misses her long-lost mother. But the world outside the delve is full of danger, and her dreams seem hopeless until she meets a mysterious fairy who makes her an enticing offer. If Ivy helps him escape the delve's dungeon, he'll teach her how to fly. Freeing Richard could cost Ivy her reputation, perhaps even her life. But when her fellow Piskies start to disappear and her beloved little sister goes missing, Ivy has no choice but to take the risk. Deadly threats and shocking revelations await Ivy as she ventures into a strange new world, uncovers long-buried secrets about her family's past, and finds that no one, not even herself, is entirely what they seem." So again, that's Swift, Book 1 of the Flight and Flame trilogy by R.J. Anderson. Next up, also from Enclave Publishing, is Forsaken Island. This is Book 2 of the Dancing Realms by Sharon Hink. On an uncharted world, happiness is effortless and constant, but can true joy exist without sacrifice? The people of Mariel have long believed their island world floats alone in the vast ocean universe, so they are astonished when another island drifts into view. With resources becoming scarce, Caria and Brantley quickly volunteer to search the new land for supplies. After navigating a barrier of menacing trees, the pair encounter a culture of perpetually happy people who readily share their talents and their possessions. But all is not what it seems. At the core of the island is a horror that threatens everyone, including Brantley and Caria. Freeing the villagers of the bondage they've chosen may cost Caria and Brantley more than they could have imagined. Even if the two succeed, they'll have to find a way to return to Mariel quickly or be cut off from their home forever. And again, that's Forsaken Island, Book 2 of the Dancing Realms by Sharon Hink. Next up, got a couple news bits from Lorehaven, lorehaven.com. These are the same guys that run speculativefaith.com, which we do a segment for every month. This book is called Light of Orion. It's Book 2 of Guardians of Orion by S.L. Richardson. Evil is gathering strength. When she learns the truth, it could cost her life. Las Vegas. 17-year-old Olivia Drake never asked for the mark of Orion on her chest. Training in secret with her two friends after their hard-won victory over the Fallen, she struggles to master her powers and gain respect as the only woman on the team. But their little band of warriors is more well-known than they think when she's brutally attacked by a demon and left for dead. Although she escapes, Olivia fears the poison dagger used against her can only mean Lucifer is coming for them, and a horrifying family connection will make her more vulnerable than she knows. Can Olivia survive the ultimate betrayal with the fate of humanity on the line? Again, that's Light of Orion, Book 2 of Guardians of Orion by S.L. Richardson. And then we've got The Prism Conspiracy, written by Mary Schlegel. An incredible job, an exasperating android, an all-too-human secret. Fresh out of art school, Abigail Huntley gets the chance of a lifetime working for Sphinx Architecture. I think I said texture. Architecture. Her remarkable talent has also landed her a remarkable work partner, a cutting-edge android named Rory, who appears so completely human that Abigail struggles to remember he's just a machine. If only his stiff interactions and coldly logical approach to everything didn't stifle her creativity. As time goes by, however, Rory shows subtle changes in behavior, making Abigail wonder if he has achieved self-awareness. Despite her reservations, she finds herself warming to him, even attracted to him. Then an accident crashes Rory's programming and leaves him bleeding, with human memories of a medical experiment inflicted by the mysterious organization Prism. Abigail races to recover Rory's identity and find justice. But without his neurological programming, Rory suffers from a dangerous health condition that slows them down and threatens them both. Only a jaded doctor and his enigmatic assistant stand between Rory and the organization that stole his humanity, the organization that will do anything to keep him silent. And again, that is The Prism Conspiracy by Mary Schlegel. And then a couple of comic books from Kingstone Comics, kingstonecomics.com if you want more information. The first one is Elijah. For $3.99, 52 pages, the description reads, "Under King Ahab and his wicked wife, Queen Jezebel, the people of Israel had reached a low point morally and spiritually. The demonic god Baal was being promoted as the true god. Prophets of Baal had been appointed in the land, and the words and law of God were being neglected throughout the nation. But to counter this reign of wickedness, God raises up one of the most powerful and fearless prophets of the Old Testament, Elijah." The second comic book, recently released, is called The Fall. 56 pages, price of $3.99. The description reads, "Through his prophets, God sent many warnings of what would happen to his chosen people if they neglected his law and his many warnings. Though there were periodic revivals under God-fearing kings such as Asa, Jehoshaphat, and Hezekiah, many of the kings of both Israel and Judah abandoned the worship of Yahweh and chose to follow the false gods of the nation around them and the lands they conquered. As a result, God allowed the Assyrians and the Babylonians to conquer the people of Israel." So both The Fall and Elijah, adaptations of biblical stories, are available from kingstonecomics.com. And now for more of the latest in Christian geek fiction publishing, we're going to turn it over to Adam David Collings.
Robert Eduardo has released The Bride, Coil and Fang as a free exclusive to those signing up to his email list. Elise had a lot to do before she got married, and getting chased by the undead was not on her schedule. Lucky for the bride, two powerful women are there to help. Coil is a genius detective, and Fang is a vampire created to be a living weapon. Together they protect the innocent from agents of chaos and destruction. And we have two Cinderella retellings from Uncommon Universes Press. The first is from Janine Ippolito, Met My Midnight. As a mender, Rena is held captive to an endless cycle of receiving and recovering from the physical ailments of others. When her father becomes deathly ill, Rihanna is desperate to save him, even by taking an illegal mission into the royal palace on the night of their greatest ball. Prince Jarek is unable to be mended. His family plan to marry him off at the ball and send him to a distant dukedom. But for years he's dreamed of a young woman, a mender he would give everything for. When she arrives, the night of his betrothal, he's determined to discover her true identity. Powerful forces conspire to keep Rena and Jarek within their cages and undermine the foundations of the kingdom itself. A YA retelling of Cinderella with a dystopian twist. The second is by H.L. Burke and is called Ashen. Stealer of warmth, bringer of death. What if Cinderella had a secret that kept her locked away? Unable to make her own body heat, foundling Lisbeth survives in a tavern kitchen, drawing warmth from the fires, the sun, and sometimes other living beings. She quietly longs for the handsome Brynar, but has no chance with the mayor's son, even if he invites her to the first Frost Festival. When Lisbeth is blamed for sudden earthquakes, she finds shelter in the dangerous caverns of Ash Mountain. There she discovers a mysterious people with the same ability to draw heat, and a fiery doom in the mountain that's slowly awakening with every quake. Now, the festival Lisbeth thought to avoid is her only chance to warn the villagers, yet even with Bryna at her side, can the strange girl dubbed the Ash Lizard hope to save the town that fears her? A rugged YA retelling of Cinderella set in a fantasy world with light steampunk elements. J.S. Bailey has released Salvation, Book 5 in the Chronicles of Servitude. Things are not going well for Bobby Rowland, a socially awkward psychic who foresees disasters and spends his days fighting evil. The first book in this series is called Servant, in which Bobby becomes entangled in a madman's plot to kill a man chosen by God to exorcise demons from the possessed. When Bobby falls under spiritual attack following the encounter, he must choose between saving others and saving himself. Laurisha Matuska has released Guardian Prince, Book 2 of the Seren Row saga. Serene is running for her life, aided by a Fae race she's been conditioned to hate. She must overcome a history of animosity and lies in order to save humanity from extinction. The first book in this series is The Healer's Rune. 300 years after a great war shattered the Council of Races, humanity is enslaved. Young Sabine must forge an alliance among 4 enemy races, but what chance does Sabine have when her very existence threatens the planet? And don't forget, you can get my military space opera, Fall of the HMAS Adelaide, for free by going to adamdavidcollins.com/free.
Thank you for that, Adam. Guys, that's only half of the stories that Adam reported on this month, so you can get tons more content, including his new podcast, Nerd Heaven, on his YouTube channel, and you can learn more about Adam at adamdavidcollins.com. If you'd like to suggest a website to be featured on the Christian Geek News Radar, you can drop a link in the comments or email me at paeter@spiritblade.com. And again, to stay even more up to date on the notable news in Christian geekery, listen to the Christian Geek Central podcast every week and follow Christian Geek Central on Twitter at Christian_geek. That's all for now. Thanks a lot. Right now, I'd like to take some time to write a tune for pre-made rhyme. The lyrics kind of never change, but the melody gets rearranged. I'll never know what I'll create to say how much I appreciate Gabriel Stinson, Brian Franklin, Olin D. Branham, the Cellcast, Drew Robb, Winston Crutchfield, Libre, and J.D. I don't think J or D are... Wait, G-Day. G-Day. Those aren't actual letters. J.D. Myers. Thank you for supporting me and SPP and CGC. And now to all who hear this tune, thank you as well. Please come back soon. Want to hear your name in song? Then check out our page on Patreon. For my 7th consecutive year, I'm participating in Extra Life, a charity event that raises funds to provide medical care for children in urgent need. I'm also leading the Christian Geek Central Extra Life team, which you're still welcome to join by following the link in the description below. Once again this year, I'm drawing attention to our team's fundraising by performing a 24-hour marathon of video gaming that I will stream live on youtube.com/ChristianGeekCentral and ChristianGeekCentral.com beginning 5 a.m. Pacific Time on Saturday, November 7th. You can donate on my page or any team member's page by following the links below, where you will also find incentives and rewards for doing so. On my page, for example, for a donation of $5, you can choose a topic to add to my +3 page of many topics that I'll be blabbing my opinions on during the live stream. For $10, you get the previous reward and a download code for a free copy of the Spirit Blade Special Edition audio drama. For $20, you get the previous rewards and you can choose a game for for me to play during my November 7th live stream. Pick a favorite or torture me with something terrible or rage-inducingly difficult. For $30, you get the previous rewards and you can choose a song for me to sing during my November 7th live stream. Pick an old favorite of yours or just make me humiliate and torture myself with something nobody wants to hear. And for $50 or more, you get the previous rewards and a download code for every MP3 product at spiritblade.com. That's an $80 value. On top of that, I have set fundraising milestones that will unlock strange and unusual happenings as I reach them. At $200, I'll have a free download day for everyone who visits spiritblade.com on November 11th. And as my total goes beyond $200, I'll unlock increasingly more content for the free download day. And depending how far beyond $200 my fundraising goes, during my November 7th live stream, I will show embarrassing clips of a movie I made in college with fellow Spirit Blade actor Michael Tully, put on a pair of Frozen socks and a Frozen t-shirt at the same time, shoot water up my nose with a turkey baster, and have my wife Holly play a video game with me for 30 minutes. And if I reach a personal fundraising total of $500 or more, I will face my greatest and most hated enemy in video gaming. I will finally beat Super Mario Bros. Without using cheat codes by the end of 2020, publishing video of my efforts and eventual success, and also make my first attempts during my Extra Life marathon. I freaking hate that game, but I will do this for those kids and their families and for you sadistic people who donate money to make it happen. Now, there are some stipulations and time limits on those rewards and milestones, so quickly follow the link below to my fundraising page for all the details. I hope you will be a part of helping me and the Christian Geek Central team do some good for some kids and families who really need it, and then I hope you'll join me at youtube.com/christiangeekcentral for my 24-hour video gaming marathon starting 5 a.m. Pacific time on Saturday, November 7th. Hope to see you then.